Welcome, my fellow explorers. Make no mistake about it, on this planet there are places that are extremely dangerous. In this video, we're going to take a look at a few of these places and get a better understanding as to why they're so dangerous. Let's get into it.
Imagine you are standing on an uninhabited island, and dozens and hundreds of slippery, crawling bodies are rustling around you. You start to choke with fear. Your heart is racing. You look around and see snakes. They are everywhere you look, even on the trees. It seems like you are in a nightmare, but you are not. This is just one of the scariest places on our planet, and there are many more of them. We have picked for you the top places you'd better never go to. What could be hiding there? Giant lizards? Aliens? Traces of ancient civilizations? In fact, this place has become a haven for people who have been called devils and bloodthirsty demons. We bet you wouldn't want to encounter them after such a presentation. What makes them so dangerous? Officially, the North Sentinel is governed by India. But in reality, this Andaman island in the Bay of Bengal, about the size of Manhattan, 58.8 square kilometers, 22.7 square miles, is a real thing in itself. Its inhabitants are the most isolated tribe in the world, unwilling to embrace civilization. Yes, they don't know what the dollar, global warming, and online movie theaters are. The Sentinelese forbid outsiders from coming to their island and kill those who try to get to them. The last time their ferocity was brought up was in 2018. That was when a 26-year-old American missionary, John Chow, who arrived on Sentinel without permission from Indian authorities, tried to land on the island to convert the natives to Christianity. Chow brought a Bible and souvenirs. The indigenous people made signs ordering him to get out, but the young American did not give up, and next time he persuaded the fisherman who had brought him to
Here's a guy who didn't get the hint, and it's unfortunate. These people were not buying what he came there to sell them.
leave him on the shore. It ended tragically. Chow was shot with an arrow, and the fishermen who saw the guy's body being dragged along the shore were arrested for having brought him there illegally. But even before Chow, encounters with islanders ended badly. In 2006, for example, 2 fishermen went to the Sentinel to catch crabs. They wanted to negotiate with the islanders, but they killed them immediately. The Sentinelese were not even afraid of the helicopter that came for the bodies and showered it with arrows. This hatred for the iron birds can be explained. 2 years before, there was a severe tsunami, and the local authorities decided to help the indigenous people. They dropped off food supplies and essentials, while accidentally killing one of the Sentinelese with a sack. The issue is complicated by the fact that no one knows or understands the language of the islanders. It is not even known what they call themselves, nor is it known how many people live on the island. This makes the North Sentinel one of the most mysterious places on the planet. Now, India is trying to protect the islanders from outside invasion. By law, it is forbidden to approach the North Sentinel any closer than 8 kilometers, 5 miles. Indian researchers believe that the Sentinelese should just be left alone and allowed to live the way they do. Another reason is that the islanders have no immunity to diseases that are common in the rest of the world. These diseases can simply kill them. But the island and its inhabitants are very interesting for the tourists who visit the neighboring tribes. So, can they be protected in the age of globalization? We don't know, but we'd better stay away from them for now. On this island, you can get hurt due to various factors: car accidents, drowning, broken neck due to diving in shallow water, and snake bites. Also, great white sharks are often seen close to the shore of the eastern part of the island. An additional danger is posed by the strong currents. You are on Fraser Island, or Kagari as the locals call it. With 500,000 tourists visiting the island every year, it's hard to believe that it has so many dangers when you look at its idyllic beauty. Alas, beauty and danger go side by side here. Dreadful tides are a regular occurrence here, but it's the local wildlife that's the most dangerous. There are small blue bottles living around the island. These are jellyfish, which have a distinctive blue color. They sting 10,000 people each year across Australia. When they sting, they release a poison that causes severe pain, fever, and even death. Bluebottles often come in groups and can sting even if they have been washed ashore.
Could you believe this guy? He's literally picking up the jellyfish that can sting you and possibly kill you with his bare hands. Bro, have you ever heard of gloves?
Irukandji jellyfish are even more dangerous. These are the smallest jellyfish. They are only 1 cubic centimeters, 0.06 cubic inches in size, but are extremely venomous. Their toxin causes a condition known as Irukandji syndrome. It sends over 50 people to hospitals every year with the threat of fatal brain hemorrhage. Another dangerous inhabitant of the island is the wild dingo dog. These animals look very cute, but it's important to remember, these are ferocious creatures, not cute puppies from your neighborhood. There are over 200 dingoes on Fraser. They have attacked tourists several times. There was a case of a young boy who walked away from his family and was attacked and killed by several dingoes in 2001. Plus, the island is home to 18 species of snakes, a third of which are venomous and extremely dangerous to humans.
Like
These include the eastern brown snake, which is the second most venomous snake in the world. It kills 50 to 60 people a year. Where else would you find such a heavenly place with so many dangers? Now, let's move to another continent. Year after year, people die here. Some seek adventure. Some depend on this road, but it's a risky trip for all of them. The Road of Death, or formerly Camino Las Yungas, is a section of road between the cities of La Paz and Coroico. It is narrow and rocky.
I don't know about you fellow explorers, but if I go somewhere and I see a sign that says Road of Death, and there's crosses and the road itself looks sketchy, I think I would avoid it and find an alternate route.
Averaging 3.2 meters, 10 feet in width, there is a cliff on one side and a terrible abyss on the other. Travelers on the Road of Death experience steep serpentines and sharp turns. It is dangerous to drive here at any time of the year. In summer, there are often rock falls, and dust reduces visibility. The rainy season is from November to March. Water erodes the clayish surface, making it slippery and unstable. Some places are difficult for even one car to pass, and virtually impossible for two. There are no guardrails or deceleration lanes. That's why cars stop, drivers get out, and agree how to pass one another. However, not only cars, but also bicyclists are at risk here. Even excursions are dangerous. At least 18 tourists have died here since 1998. This path has been officially recognized as the most dangerous in the world. An average of 26 buses and cars have fallen here each year, killing dozens and even hundreds of people. The most terrible case occurred in 1983. Residents of La Paz were returning home after the holiday in Coroico. There were many of them, and the driver boarded the bus with twice as many passengers as it was supposed to carry. As a result, the vehicle tilted on a narrow curve and fell off a cliff. The Road of Death then took 100 lives. It is also creepy to drive on this road because there are crosses at every turn in memory of the dead. Bolivians call them warning signs. The breaking point was in 2007 when an alternative road, a modern, safe highway, was opened between La Paz and Coroico. Now, the old one is hardly used for its intended purpose. It has become a tourist attraction and a source of adrenaline. Every year, Snakes kill thousands of people around the world, but the average person rarely crosses paths with snakes. However, there is a place in the world that is literally teeming with them. This is the island called Ilha da Queimada Grande, 20 miles from Sao Paulo in southeastern Brazil, or Snake Island. It is believed that 400,000 snakes lived there in the past. People thought there was one snake for every square meter, but this is most likely a myth. In fact, such a large number of reptiles can't feed themselves in such a small area. There are now no more than 4,000 to 5,000 snakes on the island.
Fellow explorer, I got a question for you. Would you go to a place called Snake Islands knowing that there is snakes of abundance on this island? It makes you wonder why people would want to venture out there.
But it's still best not to go there, although the Brazilian government has already closed access to it. Most of the inhabitants of the island, about 2,400 to 2,900 specimens, are golden lancehead viper. It is only found there. This reptile is a close relative of the fer-de-lance, one of the deadliest snakes in the Americas. The death rate from golden lancehead viper's venom is 7%. This figure is not the highest, but you would hardly want to try your luck in this way. By the way, there are no recent cases of lethal outcomes thanks to the prohibition of the authorities to visit the island. Still, if a person is bitten by a golden lancehead viper, he or she will suffer severe pain, internal bleeding, necrosis of muscle tissue, risk of cerebral hemorrhage, and possibly death if help is not provided in time. No wonder people wanted to get rid of such a neighborhood. So, in the beginning of the 20th century, they tried to clear the territory on the island for banana plantations, burning the forest. But the snakes literally stood up in defense of their home. They attacked the workers, and eventually the people retreated. Once upon a time, according to the most popular theory, it was humans who evicted the snakes to Ilha da Queimada Grande. This happened 9,000 to 11,000 years ago, after the last ice age. Back then, the island was connected to the mainland by a narrow neck of land. It's along this neck of land that the snakes retreated from the advancing humans. Then this neck of land became submerged, and the snakes remained on Ilha da Queimada Grande. But there is another version, which is appreciated by fans of fairy tales. According to it, pirates buried treasures on the island. To protect them, they inhabited it with venomous snakes, which eventually multiplied greatly. Another legend dates back to the early 20th century and concerns the former keeper of the lighthouse, which now works automatically, and his family.
That's possible.
It is said that the snakes set off a massive attack on them. The reptiles got into the bedroom through the windows and started biting people. People fled into the forest, where they died after being attacked by hundreds of snakes. But there is no confirmation of all these stories, and it should be noted that the population of snakes on the island has decreased significantly due to lack of food. At first, they multiplied by simply eating all the small animals in the area, and then the food became scarce. The species is now in the Red Book and is protected because it is endemic. It does not live anywhere else but on this island. There are many dangerous places in the world where people face various threats. However, they can be mesmerizingly beautiful, which only makes them even more dangerous. Whether it is a mountain or an island, a cave or a volcano, each of them bears a terrible secret.
Thank you for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe.